Let's turn on the light. You can see in each continent, we have our customers. So if you want to have this kind of product, you can also contact with us. Our equipment is located in 120 countries worldwide. You can have a look. Here are different continents. We have our customers in Asia. Now we are in China and other continents like Europe, Africa, America, and Oceania. So here are some brief introduction about our company. We are the Doing Group. Here is the name, the Doing Holdings. And here is the subsidiary, our factory's name. Let's come to the workshop now. Well, it's 2 p.m. in China, so the workers are working, so there may be some noises. And now, if you can't hear me, you can type in the comment place, or you can leave your questions to us in the comment place. Then we can answer you about the details. Okay, let's take the helmet. We're safe. Here is the storehouse. Here are some spare parts in the whole line. You can see some subsidiaries, some spare parts. And this workshop is for the waste tires with plastic reactor, pyrolysis reactor. We can get the flue oil after pyrolysis. And here is the pyrolysis reactor for the fully continue and batch continue. Here is a prototype for 15 pounds capacity. We can have a look and we can note how we can get the flue oil and the carbon black and steel wire after pyrolysis from the waste tire. Here is a prototype. You can see. Well, maybe some noises, I'm sorry, because it's 2 a.m. in China and workers are just working. Well, here is the reactor, pyrolysis reactor, and then we can get the flue gas from it. After this kind of condensation system, we can get the flue oil, and it will store here in the storage tank. And back of it is the purification system and the odor removal system. I will show you one by one. Let's start from the very beginning. So we have 3 kinds of equipment that can feed pyrolysis. They are the batch type pyrolysis plant, the semi-continuous pyrolysis plant, and the fully continuous pyrolysis plant. Well, this prototype is the batch type pyrolysis plant. The capacity is from 10 pounds per day to 20 pounds per day. And we also have 12 pounds, 15 pounds, and 18 pounds. We can process the waste tire, waste plastic, aluminum plastic, and the oil sludge. Well, if you chose the batch type pyrolysis plant, and the raw material can be all kinds of the material that can be pyrolysis, like just the name that I said. Here is the feeding door. We can use the automatic feeder to feed the whole tire or the mixed household garbage and the aluminum plastic, or some industrial waste like the oil sludge, coal tar sludge to the feeding door. It's 1.4 meter or 1.6 meter. There is a feeding door, you can see here. And outside it, this gray one is the installation cover. We have 2 effects. The first one is to prevent the release, the gas release, and the second is to resist the temperature from the reactor. And inner is the reactor. I will show you what it looks and what does it do for. Here is the outlet of the flue gas. One of the products we can get is the flue gas. It will come out from this outlet and it will first come to the condensation system. Here is the condensation system. The first one is the buffer tank. Well, the buffer tank have two effects. The first one is it can slow down the speed of the gas, the flue gas, and it can make fully condensed in the condensation system. And the second effect is can settle down the carbon black, or the flue gas will have some carbon black inside or some like cool powder in it. It will cause the condensation system too. So this is the two effects. And then is the condensation system. We have two kinds of the condensation system. This shows us is the tube condensers, and we also have the water tank condensers. They have the same effect, just kind of different of the how it works. And for this tube condensers, it has 7 condensers for 4 steps. The first one is here, this 2 vertical condensers. It has 4 pipes in it, and outside it is the water circling water, and inside is the flue gas. It can condense in it. And here is the storage tank. The oil will temporarily stand here. It is 2 tanks. The capacity is 2 tanks. For each tank, we have 3 temporary storage tanks. And then is the second condensation system. It is called the oil-water separator. It can not only condense the oil, and it can also purify the gas, purify the flue gas. It can purify it by the water, and it is also a safety device. Well, it can control, it can prevent the flue gas back to the reactor, cause some safety problem. This is the second, and this one is the third condensation system. It's called the horizontal condenser. Well, each one has 37 tubes in it. It has the biggest condensation effect. Almost 90% of the flue gas will condense here. And then we have the first step. We can see here clearly. Well, it is also the same as this. Also 2 vertical condensers, but it has 1 tube in it to make sure all the gas is condensed in the condensation system. So here is the condensation system, and we just talked about this first pyrolysis system and the second condensation system. Then we have the odor removal system, the discharging system, and the gas purification system. Well, the discharging system, we have 3 kinds of ways to discharge the carbon black. We have the front flag, the back flag, and the side flag. For different kinds of raw materials, we can use different flagging ways. For example, if you chose the batch type pyrolysis plant, and the raw materials is the with tire with plastic, you can also use the front side or the side flag. If you chose the fully continuous, the only way you can flag is the back flag. You can have a flagging wrench and flag the carbon black at a very high temperature. This is kind of different between the continuous pyrolysis plant and the batch type pyrolysis plant. Then we just have introduction about the pyrolysis equipment and the condensation system. Let's have a look about the odor removal system. Here is the odor removal system. Well, the third kind of product that we can get is the syngas. We also call it the tail gas. Well, the tail gas, we can just burn it directly, or we can reuse it. we can just put it into the reactor and burn it for the second use. Then we don't need the other flue energy. For example, we need to use the natural gas or the wood to burn the reactor. But if we reuse the tail gas, it will have much more safe about the heating energy. So here is other removal system. Just why we set this? Because if we just burn the tail gas directly, it will have some bad smell in it. It will have some sodium sulfide, hydrogen sulfide in it, or some sodium sulfide. So we need to purify it, and this is the first step of the odor removal system. The first step is also a buffer tank. The same effect with the buffer tank later is to slow down the speed and settle down the carbon black in the gas. Then we will come to this spraying tower, the two spraying tower. In it has the sodium hydroxide in it to have a contact with the tail gas and purify the sodium sulfide in it. And then here is a safety device. Here is a safety device that it will control the tail gas won't return to the reactor, return to the condensator system. So we also have other safety device like the monitor of temperature and the pressure. Later I will show you. Well, in this slide we can see the whole condensation system very clearly. And here is the outlet. We first come to the buffer tank, and the gas will flow here and to the first vertical condensers, and the flue oil will temporarily stand here, the capacity of 210 tanks. Then the gas will come to the other removal system for second condensing, and the third condensers is the horizontal condensers, and this is also the buffer tank. The material is the Supplier plate, Supplier steel. Here is the fourth step, and we also have the five step is the odor removal system, the purification system. Because when we burn the reactor in this combustion system, it will have some smoke, so we need to purify it, or it will have a pollution of the environment and it's harmful for the human body. So we have different kinds of the purification system because the policy is different for different regions and different policies. So you can just type your regions in the comment place, and our sales manager can give you an analysis about your policy system and what kind of certificate in each step you can have. So this prototype is for the batch type pyrolysis plant, and let's show you about some more details of the reactor. Here is the installation cover of the reactor. Without the furnace in it, outside is the installation cover. It has 3 layers. And this we can see is the refractory cement, and in it is the refractory rod wool, and the outside is the steel. Here is the whole installation cover. It has 2 effects. Well, the first one is to prevent the gas release, and the second is we can see here, we'll put the wool in it to prevent the smoke release from here. And it can just protect the temperature and to save the heating energy we use. Here is the cooling system to cool down the temperature of the reactor when we burn it, and after finish the pyrolysis system, we need to cool down the reactor and to start carbon black. Here is also an feeding door of the batch type pyrolysis plant for 15 pounds. You can see here, this is the feeding system, and this is a feeding door, and we can see here is the discharging door. This is a tube, and we also have this called the guide rail. The guide rail is casting. It is directly melted in molten steel and cured into the model for one conforming. So it is consistency is 100%. So it is impossible to be managed with ordinary factory plate roller machine. Therefore, it is better ensure the smooth operation of the equipment. This is what this guide rail was for. And it can also resist the temperature when the tub is working, because we need to roll the reactor and we need to add the lubricated oil in it. Because when we have this guide rail, we don't need to add much more lubricated oil, and it will don't have some smoke, and it's also environmental protection. Here is the two sides. Also the reactor. This is the front side and the back side. You can see here is the refractory cement. You can see the thickness. This is my hand. You can see the thickness. And here is the cement, and inside is the wool, and the outer side is the stainless steel, wire steel. Here is also a reactor. When it finishes, we will put the reactor in this installation cover. Oh, here is the entire installation cover for the fully continuous pyrolysis plant. Well, the fully continuous one, the capacity and the efficiency, the working efficiency is kind of different with the batch type. Well, the batch type just we introduce later, it's the capacity is 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 20 pounds. But we have the larger capacity of the fully continuous one. The largest one is 15 pounds, 50 pounds, and it can work 45 to 60 days without stop. So we don't need to cool down the reactor and don't need to start the carbon black for just the only step. We can feed the raw material and have the pyrolysis industry and start the carbon black at the same time. So because it will work for such a long time, we have the difference between the combustion system. We have this burner in it to heat the air, and then it can have the heat to the reactor. This is the inside of the reactor without the furnace. Here is the installation cover. Well, it has 6 layers of the fully continuous pyrolysis plant. So you can see it's kind of different because of it is a high efficiency. So we need to ensure it is a safe environment of the production. So with the 6 layers design, when we have the production, we can just touch it. It won't have a dangerous. This is a fully continuous, and this tube is connected with the purification system. Here is to contact with the burner and the tail gas burner to heat the energy, to heat the furnace. This is the way for the burner, and we also have the new design to use the hot flame furnace to give the heating energy. Here our worker, they are working, rolling. You can see here. Well, we are the manufacturer, so the whole line, the whole product, and the spare parts are all designed in our factory. Here is the factory, one of the workshops for 40,000 square meters, and we have another workshop for the storage and the accessories storage. Here is the plate, the blower cell that without the cement and the wood. You can see there are the hook in it. The hook in it to hold the cement. Here is a hook, and you can see the thickness. Okay, let's go. They're working now. Here is also the reactor of the fully continuous. Because the capacity is much more larger, so we have the longest furnace. Here is also the batch type pyrolysis plant for the 20 capacity, 20 pounds. Well, you can see this kind of difference. The reactor is kind of different between this kind of equipment that we have introduced. The color is different. This is a stainless steel. If your raw material is processed, for example, the oil sludge, the coal tar sludge, then we can use a stainless steel. It can resist the more high temperature and resist the process. Here is it. It's the reactor. Here, just working. This is the reactor house. Okay, let's go back to the other workshop. So if you are interested in our waste tire, waste plastic, pyrolysis equipment, you can contact with us. Here is the reactor, the stainless steel reactor for the oil sludge. Here is the name of our company. We are the Doing Growth. This is the generator. We are the Doing Growth, a manufacturer of the waste tire, waste plastic pyrolysis plant. So we are just working now, so maybe some noises. This is the boiler plate. And the white one is the stainless steel for the reactor. Here is another workshop. This weather is very cool, and this is a truck that's waiting to deliver our customers' equipment. We can see how. Okay, see here it is the outer feeder to feed the tire with plastic, and the tank that far from us is the water tank. the one under condensation system. Here is the auto feeder. A horizontal press feeding. So here is the reactor workshop, manufacturing workshop, and here is storage workshop. Let's go and see other certificates, some accessories. Here is the PLC system for the fully continuous and the semi-continuous and batch type. We can also have the PLC system. This is a control system that waiting to be delivered. This is, you can see. There's some leading wind. For the second layer are some oil tanks and some burner systems, some all the removal systems here. Here is the water tank, and in it have the coil type to condense the flue oil. This is the oil tank. Well, the sizes can be customized. If a coil type in it, let's can see whether we can see it in it. This is the second condensation system that you can show. Here is the PLC system, the control panel. For the fully continuous, if you have the PLC system, then we can have high efficiency and it's much more labor saving. Let's go upstairs. Here is how it looks like. How is the water tank? You see there are the coil type in it, and the sizes can be customized. Wow, a clear sight. This is a storage workshop about. We have 3 workshops that is 40,000 square meters. If you have any questions, you can just come in the comment place. Or if you want to know more information about this kind of pyrolysis plant, you can contact us with our sales manager by the WhatsApp or the email or the WeChat or telephone. Anyway, to your convenience. So hello, welcome to the Doing Show. And now we are in the workshop of our manufacturing factory. Here is the water tank. that we are the manufacturer of the waste tire, waste plastic, also aluminium plastic, pyrolysis, that we can get the blue oil from this kind of waste things like the solid waste, the waste tire and waste plastic, and some hazardous waste like the oil fat or the aluminium plastic. Here are the equipment, some device that's waiting to be delivered. The workers are check the safety. Well, we have 3 cars for this deliver, and it's for into the Asia, one of the Asian country. This customer chose the water tank condensers, and we also have the tube condensers. Just the prototype that we showed is the water tank tube condensers. Here is some reactor, very clear to see here. No noise here. So you can see here is a batch type pyrolysis plant with the installation cover outside, and inside it is the reactor. Here is the outlet with the generator, and it's linked with the French and the guide rail tube. Here is the reactor inside. Is the material is supplier plate, and outside is installation cover. This is a 15 pounds capacity, and the raw material is the waste tire. So if your raw material is the waste tire, we can use the front flag and the side flag. Here is side flag. You can see anything different between this this batch type and this reactor. Well, here is the screen door. Is there something different? Because we can have the side flag, use this flagging outdoor to rotate the reactor, and we can select twice of one rotation. So it's very high efficiency for this kind of flagging. And the flagging carbon black is its built design. It will go underground, have underground storage, so it have no release and no have pollution or when we have the flagging system. So this is why some customers will choose the flag way. Well, about the front flagging, also many customers chose it because it's much more cheaper, much more efficiency, and although it has some pollution, but it's very convenient to flag the carbon black. Well, this is the 15 pounds capacity. We also have the smallest one is the frame pyrolysis plant, unit pyrolysis plant. It's the smallest one is 100 kilograms, 500 kilograms, and 1 ton, 2 ton. So if you want to choose the frame condensers for the certificate or to get some data, you can choose this kind of frame condensers. Let's have a look. Is there any frame condensers units in our factory? Well, this kind of is for some college will buy us, or some other for the data or some certificates. Let's have a look about the third workshop. Here is waiting for deliver, and because we have customers around the world for 120 countries, so you don't need to worry about the transportation. We will divide the whole equipment in parts and load them in the containers. And also we have the professional freight forward who have cooperated with us for many years. So about the transportation to different continents, you don't need to worry. This is one of our service. You can see this is divided to different types. Here is the water tank, and in front of it is the winch, the feeding winch and the slugging winch. And this brown one is the oil temporary storage tank. The 2-ton temporary storage tank that the blue oil will condense from here. It will installate that under the water tank. So you can see they are divided to some parts, so you don't need to worry. And for this, our workers have the rich experience about the handling and the transportation for the equipment to avoid the damage of the equipment in the sea transportation and the land transportation. So this is for the transportation device, and for the installation service of the after-sale service, we have experienced overseas installation engineers. So when the equipment arrives in your customers, in your factory, we will send engineers to install, debug, and run the equipment. And another service is we can train the customer's workers to operate and run the equipment. So about this step, you don't need to worry. We have our customers, our clients in all the continents. So if you want to visit their factory, it's also welcome. And you can also visit here. It's in China, in central China, Henan province. You can come here and know more details, more information about the processing line. Here is also a storage workshop, kind of empty and quiet now. There are some other products in our installation company. You can see here is the water removal system. This is also our patent. We can give you the certificate to save your energy and to prevent the pollution of the environment. There are the panel of the PLC system. Here are some crank and the guided rail. Okay, let's back to the reactor workshop to give you some introduction. If you are interested, you can comment. So welcome our new friends. This is the Doing Live show. If you are interested in this kind of with plastic pyrolysis equipment, you can contact with us. We will give you the introduction of the detailed processing line. And we have 3 kinds of equipment: the batch type pyrolysis plant, semi-continuous and fully continuous pyrolysis plant, for different raw materials and different capacity. If you are interested, you're welcome to contact with us. It's very pleasure that now we are in the workshop, the factory, to give you this live show. Here is the water tank. So for the fully continuous and the batch type, the raw materials can be the waste tire and waste plastic. If you have this kind of raw material and want to know the oil yield and other products, you can send your raw material to us, and we can have a free test for you to give you the analysis about the oil yield and the product. Let's start from the very beginning. Here is the prototype gas of the batch type pyrolysis plant. part. And here there is a generation of the generator of different sizes. Okay, let's have introduced about the batch type pyrolysis plant. Here is the prototype. Here are workers, they're working, and wait. They are just ready to deliver to abroad. We use the boxes that is environmental friendly and can reach the standards of the official. Now it's the reactor. You can see here is the side flag. That we will discard the carbon black in the sideways, and when we finish the pyrolysis the processing, we will rotate the reactor and it will open the feeding door, sliding door, and slide the carbon black. We will get 35% of the carbon black from the waste tire, and the oil yield of the waste tire is from 35 to 45. If your raw material is the large tire from the truck or the car, then oil yield can reach to 45%. Here is the pyrolysis reactor. This is the outlet, and the gas will come from here. You can see there's some design. The outlet will contact with the gas rail. It will contact with the tub. While the reactor is not directly contact with the tub, then it won't have a very high temperature that we don't need to waste much lubricate oil in it, and there's not much smoke from it, so it's very environmental friendly and save our energy. Here is the outlet, and then the gas will come to the condensation system to condense this oil. The switch that later is the water tank condensers, and here is the tube condensers. Well, it has a very high efficiency because as we all know, the higher efficiency of the condensation system, the more oil that we can get. So here is the condensation system that we have 4 steps that have 7 condensers, and the oil will stand here. Oh, here is one of the patents that we don't introduce. Here is the vacuum device. That when we discard the carbon black, it may have a solution that it may have some black explosion. So we use this safety device to prevent this happens. It will have to pump the gas in the reactor for half an hour to an hour. So there don't have some gas released in this reactor. Then when we open the feeding door, it won't have the black explosion. This is another safety device. You can see here underneath is I-beam tab that acts as a support. Well, it is 30 centimeters resistance efficiency, and onto it is the installation cover, and we will put the reactor in it. This is all used by the boiler plate. So you can see this is the welding design. Well, the welding is both sides of the steel plate are rolled at 60 degrees first, and then it will welded by the automatic machine. The standard weld is like 1.5 times of the The place where the head and the reactor contract is done by a fully automatic valve design. So the way of the reactor sealing head is next to the body is the same as the body connection itself. So we don't have the cracking problem or the gas release problem. Here is also the figure. Well, if we have this particular material is the aluminium plastic. This is a reactor. You can see the same of the valve design and the reactor. This is the R-stage reactor head. There is a prototype. This is the removal system to purify the bad smell in the tail gas that we need to burn it correctly. So is there any questions for you to know this kind of backpack pyrolysis plant? If you have any questions, you can connect. Or you can leave your WhatsApp number to us. Our sales manager will give you the introduction. There is the cement, the refractory cement, and in it is the refractory. This is the outlet of the reactor linked with the generator. So here you can see this is the guide rail. That the top is the top is kind of different in the feeding doors because it has a groove in it. It will prevent the remove of the rail gas because it will move when the gas release from here. Here is outdoors. We can use different ways to discharge the carbon black because, for example, the wings or the conveying belt or the oil pump or some other ways, some side flag or the front flag. Here is the fully continuous pyrolysis plant. This is the installation cover. The fully continuous, this is 30 pounds of each day. So you can see inside is the temperature resistant brick, and outside is the cement, the refractory cement. There is the combustion chamber. We will use the burner or the furnace to give the feeding energy. Here is our engineer and our workers. Some winch. Inside the winch is just look like here, and it will put the rubber powder in the reactor. Because if you use the fully continuous, we need to have some prerequisites about the waste tire. If your material is the waste tire, we need to crack it to the rubber powder. And if your material is the plastic, we need to crack it into the plastic particles. So we need to use the winch to feed the raw material, so it can ensure we can feed and pyrolysis and discharge carbon black at the same time. Inside it is some winch. So this is today's live show. We are in the swing factory. We are the manufacturer of the waste tire, waste plastic, auto flag pyrolysis plant. If you're interested, welcome to contact with us. Thank you for your watching today. If you want any questions, you can leave your questions or your contact ways in the comment place. So our sales manager will give you an introduction to give you more details because, for example, the quotation and this is the felt flag. Some quotations, some certificates of different raw materials and different capacities, and other data, some detailed processing design. If you want to know, welcome to contact with us. Here are the production that we have. We have the solid waste and hazardous waste treatment equipment and oil processing equipment and this starch equipment. If you're interested in this kind of raw material, welcome to contact with us. We are the Doing Group, and today is the the factory live show for you. Thank you for your watching today, and we will see you next week. Any questions you want to know, welcome to contact with us. Thank you and goodbye. Have a nice day.